Let's talk Tanya for the 29th of Nisan of a leap year. In yesterday's Tanya, we spoke about a hybrid love, a love which is a combination of a gift from God, but at the same time also, it is a product of our contemplation because we need to use our contemplation to apply that gift from God. Yesterday, we spoke about contemplating the idea that God is my life. And if I love my life, then I have to love God also. Not I have to, then I do love God also. Today, we're going to talk about another hybrid love, which is a little higher than the one that we spoke about yesterday. And that is, the Zohar talks about the service of Moshe Rabbeinu. And it says that Moshe Rabbeinu was kibra di ishtadel basar avoy v'imoy, like a child who strives on behalf of their father and mother and works on behalf of their father and mother and loves their father and mother even more than they love their own body and soul. Can we use that for God? The fact that we love our parents is natural. That's a gift that we have from God. It's not something that we have to work for. But at the same time, applying that to God and realizing that God is our Father, that takes work. So once again, over here, we have this hybrid love. On the one hand, we are tapping into a gift that we got from God, which is the natural love that we have for our parents, and saying, yes, and God, you are our Father, and therefore I love you in this way. This is a greater love than the hybrid love that we had yesterday, because yesterday we spoke about the idea of looking at God and saying, God, you're my life. I love my life. I want my life. So essentially, there is a certain selfishness over here, which is, I want to live, and God, you are my life. Today, the hybrid love that we're talking about today, the hybrid love known as kibra de ishtadel, like a child who strives on behalf of their parents, there is no selfishness over here at all. I love my parents more than I love my life. In fact, in this model, I'd be willing to give up my life for my parents. It's a higher level of love, but it's also a hybrid love. Because again, combines elements of gift with element of contemplation. But is that something that we can really reasonably aspire towards? Didn't we just say this was the level of the service of Moshe Rabbeinu? Who are we fooling when we say we can be like Moshe Rabbeinu? Alter Rebbe says, yes, you're right. Can we actually achieve and attain this love fully? No. But in a small way, Moshe gifted us with the ability to have this in a small measure. We can take a moment to think about the fact that God is our Father and try to develop that kind of love that we have for God. This is something that we spoke about already a few days ago in Tanya, the idea of a combination of pragmatism, understanding our limitations, and that we're not Moshe Rabbeinu, but with a certain lechatchila ariber, going above and beyond our limitations and realizing what we have at our essence, and in this case, as a gift from Moshe Rabbeinu himself. How do I get there? How do I get to this place of feeling that God is my Father? So the Alter Rebbe says something interesting. The entire Tanya is based on the verse, which means that all of Torah mitzvahs is something which is accessible and practical to us, which means in speech, in thought, and in action. Now, speech, thought, action doesn't seem to follow any natural order. It's either, if you're going from top to bottom, it would be thought, speech, action, thought, speech, action, yeah. And if you're going bottom up, would be action, speech, thought. But here we have speech, thought, action, or speech, feeling, and action. So the idea of feeling to action, that we already talked about in Tanya earlier. How much feelings do we need to have? Only enough to bring us to action. Doesn't have to be a blazing feeling in the heart. I need to have enough feelings in order to bring me to action. And now we're going to understand also the connection between the first two. How do I get to feeling something? Through speaking about it. When we walk around the whole day and we're constantly talking about it, and we're talking about God, God is my Father, God is my life. And the more we talk about it, our voice actually evokes our intention. And then the speaking about it, leads to bilvavcha, leads to feeling about it. How much do I need to feel? Bilvavcha, la'asoisei, in order to get me to act and behave in the right way. But at the end of the day, the question is, if I don't really feel that God is my Father, and if I don't really have that incredibly altruistic feeling towards God, is there value in that feeling? That's a question that we will explore, God willing, in tomorrow's Tanya.